Elena Toth.
Opening statement.
Opening statement.
There you go.
Couldn't be more proud of this group. You know, winning a state championship. Been coaching for a long time, and I just can't imagine we did it. But I had a great group of girls who worked their tails off, put us in position. And I don't think I've been around a more determined and talented group to pull off a state championship.
You keep mentioning about this being the revenge tour. Revenge finally here?
Well, they had one more check mark, and they came ready to put that check mark down on the revenge tour. That was their duty. That was their calling. I like it, and they took care of it.
Coach, we talked when you first got the job here, and you said you would only come back to high school if it was the right fit.
Yeah,
You know, 2 years later, is this the right fit?
absolutely. Any coach would have been blessed to end up with this group. When I did come back into the high school ranks, and you know, they've always historically been successful in what these kids were made of and what they accomplished. I mean, I couldn't have asked for more.
This could be you and the players. You talked last year about how disappointing it was. It was 9-0 in the final. What was that like? What did you learn from it? Obviously, you talked about the revenge tour, but what was the feeling like that a year ago? And what did you practically take from that to get to tonight?
You know, I think that was a building block to this team here. I mean, that group of kids, again, when I say I couldn't be luckier, they had 8 seniors that were giving everything they had and leading in any manner they had. That, you know, last year there was no pressure. I mean, I don't think anybody really expected us to get to the state championship last year, and I still think we could have won it. But the fact they got there, they believed, they worked hard, and they said, hey, we do this again, keep it simple, get better. And that's what they all did. I mean, definitely Elena Toth got much better, much more dominant this year. But that building block carried over this year, but these kids had to make it happen, and they did it. They took it to another level.
Elena, can you talk about your different perspective from last year to right now? How 180 is this different from last year?
Yeah, this is just amazing. We definitely matured a lot more than we would have last year, and we were more prepared this year. We worked during the off season every day, so it's just amazing to be back here.
Elena, you had 23 strikeouts in 2 tournament games in the state tournament. Talk about that dominance.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I can do my thing in the circle whenever my batters are batting and producing runs.
So no matter what, back-to-back games, back-to-back days. I mean, you talk about like on base. You had to be a little bit tired after yesterday's game. Talk about just coming in here on base and playing one of your best games yet again.
Yeah, I was definitely tired, but I didn't even think about that. I was just super excited to be here, and it's all I thought about was today.
Obviously, with that 3-run first, I mean, there's 2 outs, and then you guys get on base a little bit, get a couple runners on base, and then that big 3-run double. Obviously, how key was that for you to kind of get that 3-run lead and just overall just kind of set the tone for you guys?
Yeah, it definitely helped a lot. It definitely gives us confidence throughout the game, knowing that we have a lead, and just brings lots of energy to us and the fans.
Kaylee, when I talked to your coach yesterday, the one thing he said about you is you always get the job done. Talk about you stepped up to the plate, full bases, and you hit a 3-run double.
Yeah, it feels good when I go up to the plate and I know that I need to get runs for my team, so I try my hardest to put the bat on the ball.
How did it feel knowing, I mean, now that the game's over, you put the game away for good with that hit?
It feels good. I'm super proud of my team and what we accomplished this season.
Did you feel confident today? I mean, you had a good year, but you had big hits in the semis and the finals. What was it? Did you feel better? Did you feel confident? Were you just determined to win? What were you feeling going into the last 2 games?
Yeah, I was confident going up to the plate. That's something that I've been working on all season, is just having confidence in myself. So I knew that I needed to be confident and go up there and hit it.
Obviously, Elena highlights a strong senior group. Just talk a little bit about the impact that they've had on this team the last couple of years.
Yeah, it definitely had a really good impact. All 4 of us have been there from the very beginning, freshman year until now. We have a really great relationship. We're all best friends, so it just really means a lot to be able to get this one with them today.
You guys had a tough stretch. First time I talked to you was after the loss to Louisville, and we talked about what you need to do to win. What did you remind the girls of, just to help kind of give you that spurt to get to where you are today?
You know, all season long, Louisville at that point maybe only had 2 losses, coming off a couple quality wins. And then we go to, you know, Worcester Triway, you know, with their pitcher committed to Georgia Tech, and you know, we wanted to play a tester of a schedule. And as we kept moving towards the tournament, getting into the tournament, we reminded our hitters and our players, hey, you're prepared. I mean, we put you in these positions so that you get better and you learn how to hit the better pitching, and they did that. So you're always going to run into a loss, unexpected loss you don't want here and there down the road, especially if you're challenging your players. And we just said, that's a good place for it. Build off of it, grow from it. And they did. They learned to hit the better pitching. They learned to, you know, manufacture runs, and it was a team thing, and they just continued to grow and mature. When we got to the tournament, early on, and I saw these kids, I'm like, I'm not sure I ever saw such a determined group of kids carried over from last year, maturing through our season. I'm like, they got it. You know, if they're playing their game, they're going to be in pretty good shape.
This could be for anyone. With all the Mahoney Valley teams in the tournament, I know you guys are rivals, but you guys are so close together and everything. Was there any talk back and forth, like, "Hey, good luck there in the weekend," or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we're congratulating each other, wishing each other good luck. I mean, we're a little bit proud of. I think that we're representing the Valley. Feel maybe we're escalating the competition in high school softball in Ohio, and you know, we're a little bit proud of that. And you know, we compete against each other, but we also, you know, care for each other.
To single out Fitch, I mean, league rivals, iron sharpens iron. How important is just having that there at the beginning of the year, especially?
That's a tough. We talked about this the other day. I mean, that's a tough one to say we got to get ready for. Obviously, they're very loaded lineup. We weren't excited about playing them the first 2 games of the season. We're like, why are these games here? And after we lost 5-0 to them the first game, and I'm like, we're better than that, you know. And the kids believed in that, and we said we got to step it up a notch. So that game there, I mean, kind of set the tone. Then we got rained out, played them about 10 days later, and knocked them off. But it took our team to another level, and that probably took them to another level. You know, to say we're better than this, but we prepared, we stepped up, we got better. We had a measuring stick early with them, very high measuring stick, and for us to beat them, I think helped our team's confidence and just move forward in a positive, maturing manner.
Could that be a budding rivalry? I hear a lot of fun talk saying, what happens if you guys play for a 3rd time, you know, next week or something? I mean, you guys want to play each other again, like down the road in the following years?
You know, we got to play next year again. They're gonna have Sig Nuance again, so we're up for the challenge. I mean, to play a 3rd time last year, we tied twice. And everyone's like, how do you tie in a season? Just how the season played out. And this year we ended up splitting, so you know, I guess it's going to be game on again next year.
I remember when you first took the job, you mentioned about the expectation is the same. The expectation is to do this. They've set the bar. Where do you guys go from here?
I think early on when I said, hey, this team's talented. You know, we have excellent pitcher in Milena Toth, and I saw the talent there, and I'm like, shoot, you guys put the effort in, and we work in the manner we should be working in the off season, good things can happen. And that just continued to go. I mean, was I 100% sure? You know, I could lead them, but I can't make them, you know, do all the grind work and the workouts, and they did. They made the commitment in little by little, and I'll take the leadership last year, carried over to this year, and the whole package just grew and developed to this championship team.
Anything else?
Sydney, talk about what it means to be a big part of the 2nd state championship winning team in Canfield history.
Yeah, you know, last year it was a pretty tough loss.
are pretty bad. So I think just coming back this year is really important to us as a team, and I'm just happy to celebrate today with them.
And what's it mean for you to be able to send off seniors like Milena on a high note like this?
You know, it's really special. I know they've worked very hard throughout their last 4 years, especially Milena pitching on the circle, giving us all of her effort. So I'm just glad we could help today to help make that special for her.
And I gotta throw in there, you know, that hit she had was a stinger in that first inning to go up 3-0. And I have to spin that off because she got bit by a bee before the game. And I'm looking at her, I'm like, okay, you're hot. I'm like, you know, you carried us a little bit yesterday, good hitting. I said, you gonna be okay? I said, are you gonna be okay? And she's laughing at me, but she put the stinger out there early. So gotta throw that in there.
All right, thanks guys, congratulations.